Imagine this for a moment. You graduate high school feeling excited, nervous, and ready to start your adult life. But then reality hits. You get your first job, your first paycheck, and your first set of bills. And suddenly you realize no one ever taught you how to budget your money, how credit works, or how to file taxes. According to the National Financial Educators Council, the average American lost over $1,500 in 2023 because of poor financial decisions. That's more than many people save in a year. And a lot of those mistakes could have been prevented with just a single class in high school. Whether we like it or not, money plays a major role in our lives. Every one of us will have to manage a bank account, pay bills, and make big financial choices, or take out loans. Yet many schools teach advanced math, chemistry formulas, or classic literature, but not how to handle the paychecks we'll depend on for the rest of our lives. This is something that affects all of us, especially as we move toward college, careers, or financial independence. As a student myself, I've seen how unprepared many of my peers feel when it comes to managing money. I've watched people my age struggle with credit cards, student loans, and budgeting because they simply never learned the basics. After researching how states required financial literacy courses that have benefited it, made it clear that this kind of education is essential. Today I'll be persuading you that financial literacy should be a required high school course in all U.S. states. First, I'll explain the growing problem caused by the lack of financial education. Second, I will discuss how mandatory financial literacy classes can solve this issue. And third, I will show how financial literacy benefits both individuals and our economy as a whole. Now that I've introduced our topic, let's begin with the first major problem: the lack of financial education for high school students. Many high school students graduate without the financial knowledge they need to succeed as adults. The truth is that most students in the United States finish high school with almost no idea how to manage their finances, and the data proves it. According to the Council for Economic Education's 2024 survey of the United States, only 23 states require students to take a personal finance course to graduate. That means millions of teenagers walk across the graduation stage every year without being equipped for real-world money decisions. The National Endowment for Financial Education reports that young adults ages 18 to 24 are the most likely to struggle with credit card debt and basic budgeting. Why? Because no one taught them that they go into the world expected to make adult decisions without being given adult skills. And the consequences are serious. A 2024 CNBC report found that nearly 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Even worse, many people admit that the poor financial education or the lack of it contributed to their struggles. The Federal Reserve has linked low financial literacy with higher personal debt, lower savings, and delayed home ownership. When people don't understand interest rates, loans, or saving strategies, they end up spending more, owing more, and saving less, which hurts not only them, but the economy as a whole. Now that we understand the seriousness of the problem, let's talk about how requiring financial literacy classes can solve it. Making financial literacy a required high school course would better prepare students for real-life financial responsibilities. The idea of teaching personal finance in schools might sound overwhelming to some, but the good news is that it works, and it's completely doable. First, states that already require financial literacy are seeing real benefits. The University of Wisconsin-Madison Center for Financial Security found that students who took a financial literacy course were more likely to budget, save, and maintain higher credit scores in young adulthood. According to Next Gen Personal Finance, states like Florida and Iowa, which both require personal finance or for graduation, saw clear improvements in students' financial confidence and knowledge. Students reported feeling more prepared to manage money and avoid debt and make responsibility choices with credit. Second, requiring a financial literacy course is not expensive or difficult to implement. The Council for Economic Education states that most schools can integrate financial literacy using existing teachers and low-cost materials already provided by national programs. In other words, schools don't need brand new staff or expensive textbooks. Even the U.S. Department of Education supports adding personal finance instruction into math or economics classes, making it both affordable and sustainable. So when people argue that adding financial literacy is too costly or too complicated, the research shows that otherwise the tools, curriculum, and supported already exist. We just need schools to make it a priority. Now that we've explored the problem and the solution, let's move to the final and most important point, the long-term benefits. Financial literacy benefits both individual students and the entire economy. When students understand money, everyone wins: the student, their family, and the economy. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, students who receive financial education in high school have higher savings rates and lower credit card debts as adults. That means fewer overdraft fees, fewer late payments, and more financial stability. A 2023 FINRA Foundation study found that adults who took personal finance courses were 3 times more likely to have emergency savings and a monthly budget. That one class changed the way they approached money for the rest of their lives. Financial literacy doesn't just help individuals, it helps the economy. The Brookings Institution reports that when people understand personal finance, national debt decreases, economic productivity rises, and consumers make smarter, more informed choices. A 2024 Forbes article explains financial education can help reduce income inequality and lower dependence on government assistance programs. Simply put, when people know how to manage money, they are less likely to fall into poverty and more likely to build a stable financial future. Tonight, I have informed you about why financial literacy should be a required course in all U.S. high schools. We looked at the growing problem of finance literacy among young adults, the effectiveness of adding financial literacy courses to high school curricula, and the long-term benefits these skills bring to both individuals and society. But before I close, I want to return to the statistic from the beginning. The average American loses more than $1,500 a year because of poor financial decisions. Now imagine if every high school graduate learned how to budget that money, save it, or invest it instead. We teach students Shakespeare, we teach them algebra, we teach them how to label the mitochondria of a cell, but we don't teach them how to manage a paycheck, something that we will use every single day of their lives. By supporting financial literacy education, we are doing more than teaching students about money. We are giving them tools for independence, stability, and success. We are giving them the power to take control of their futures, and that is something every student deserves.